The Garden of Tomorrow is located in Norfolk, Virginia at the Norfolk Botanical Garden. It's next to the largest rose garden on the East Coast and is a conservatory to basically house the world's threatened, endangered, and rare plant material and try to be a sort of a Noah's Ark idea that, or a depository to where if critical habitats are really threatened and become totally degraded in the future and these species are lost in the wild, that we actually have the ability to go out and repopulate or help to reestablish degraded habitats around the world.
So the Garden of Tomorrow is the largest expansion in Norfolk Botanical Gardens history. We've been a display garden for 85 years. It's a beautiful place to see plants and nature and to connect with nature. But I think this takes our conservation and even our science to the next level.
The Green Collaborative is a landscape architecture firm in the Valley, Phoenix, Arizona. We try to think of ourselves as a bit of an incubator, so if we can get good, talented people in here and let them follow their dreams, we think that that's going to, make us as a better firm as well.
We had met Matt later as part of the group when we were thinking about hiring them, and I was just blown away, and at that point it was yes, without a doubt.
On our end, not only are we helping out with the general circulation and making sure everything flows smoothly, but also creating an experience, I think, is really where we come in. I feel like I'm getting a chance to terraform a landscape in the desert from scratch.
Of the 5 most threatened living things on Earth right now, 3 are plants: cactus, cycad, and conifers. That blew my mind. Plants hold so much information that we don't even know yet. Most of our medicine is based on plants, pharmacology. There is a cure for something in one of those cactus or one of those cycads or one of those tropical plants, macronutrient, something in that plant that could feed 1 million people. We don't know. That's my personal passion around the Garden of Tomorrow, is really the conservation piece. Right now I have 500,000 people coming to the garden. We expect it probably to go up to 750,000 once Garden of Tomorrow opens. So we're collecting, we're protecting, but we're also sharing that collection with the public.
When we did some of this feedback from the gardens on these planning workshops, the #1 word that kept coming back was immersion. We want to feel immersed in somewhere else. So I think in the desert biome, for one, really excited about the sort of curvilinear walkway that we have and this feeling that the landscape is kind of rolling underneath your feet and almost like we just landed a pathway on top of an existing, desert landscape, basically. Treat people like water is kind of one of my design metaphors, and so it's basically a canyon that we created. So I want people to come in and really feel like they're in a canyon. And then when we get to tropical, I think the best part for me is going to be just being immersed in the canopy and then also trying to lower down some of the areas to make that even feel taller than what it really is.
I didn't want a bunch of plants in a row and a raised bed and you walk around and look and then you leave. Everything goes back to our mission, right? Using beauty, using our plant collection, utilizing the time that we have with people to connect them to nature so that we can address the environmental crisis. That's what everything is about.
Extremely excited to see this come to fruition and really excited for my children too to be able to walk through this and experience it in the future and hopefully take on some of that excitement that hopefully we're creating for everybody as well. Couldn't be any more excited to have a positive impact for the next generation.
Anything that we can do for the Garden of Tomorrow, through the Garden of Tomorrow, to connect even more people to nature through the world of plants, to address the environmental crisis, we've won. So I'm hoping that's what the Garden of Tomorrow is.